Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds. And here with me today, I have a dynamic receiver out of UConn. His name is TJ Sheffield. Nice to have you today, buddy.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited for the meeting for sure.
I definitely wanted to interact with you, allow other people to get to know you. We have a guy who's got a lot to offer. Some teams at the next level has showcased himself at two different institutions, first at Purdue and then at UConn. TJ, let's go ahead and get after it. Introduce yourself, and we'll get going.
My name is TJ Sheffield. I'm from Spring Hill, Tennessee. I went to Independence High School. Out of college, I went to Purdue, and now I'm here at UConn for my final year.
Gotcha. And then of course, you guys have one bowl game still left to play here. So I mean,
Uh,
with something to look forward to in the coming weeks. I think it's what is it, like a week from this weekend, I think.
yes, sir. It's on the 28th, the Fenway Bowl. Never
Nice.
been to Boston before. I'm excited.
Nice. TJ had an interesting career, but want to start from the very beginning. How long have you played football?
Um, I've been playing in college for 6 years, but I've been playing football since I believe I was 10 years old in Little League, Franklin Cowboys.
Okay. And so have you always been a receiver? Is that kind of the overall history of you in football, or do you mess around with some other positions?
I was originally a running back all throughout my career until my older brother. He played in high school. He was a senior when I was a freshman, and he played wide receiver and he was the All American and all of that. So I changed my position my sophomore year, and ever since then I've been playing wideout.
Nice. TJ, again, you had mentioned that you attended Independence High School there in Tennessee. And then also in my notes, have that you actually were a standout track and field athlete there. Some of the notes I have, if you can maybe, you know, uh, correct if it's wrong, or, at least let me know if these are correct. So a 10.78 in the 100 meter,
Yes,
and
sir.
a 22.19 in the 200 meter.
Yes,
Fantastic
sir.
numbers. Talk a little bit about your track days
Mm.
and maybe how you feel that has helped you along the way as a football player.
Man, I started off running track and at AAU track. My dad actually made a track club when we were younger, Wings of Skill. So I've been running since I was since before I played football. I believe I was like eight years old doing AAU track, and went I actually medaled in the Junior Olympics a few years as a kid too. So that was pretty cool when I was younger.
So you medaled in the Junior Olympics.
Yes, sir.
How old were you at the time?
I believe I was like 11 or maybe a little bit younger than that, but I made top eight in the Junior Olympics at like I believe I did it like 2 years or 2 or 3 years, and I was definitely excited about that when I was younger. That was one of my biggest accomplishments I felt like.
Good deal, man. I mean, obviously, something to be proud of. It you know puts validity to the fact that we have for us today a guy who has some legitimate speed. And I know that's probably what helped you actually be a four-star recruit coming out of high school. And at first, obviously, you ended up at Purdue, but I mean, I know coming out of high school probably had several offers in front of you. What were those offers like, and why did you ultimately decide to go Purdue?
I remember I had a few offers. Like I had Ohio State, Penn State, Virginia Tech. Those are some that I remembered. But really, Coach Jamarcus Shepard actually out of Purdue in 2019. Man, he's one of the best recruiters around. I feel like so. he definitely sold Purdue, and I loved it. And I'm glad I went there for my undergrad and got a chance to see what West Lafayette was all about.
I mean, we've definitely seen some really nice wide receivers coming out of Purdue these past, several seasons. Hopefully, we'll get a chance to talk a little bit more in depth about some of those guys. But certainly not a bad place to start, man. I mean, when you're among a lot of great, talented receivers, and we're looking at a guy who played with an NFL quarterback. So that's kind of nice to be able to say, hey, I've played with a starter at the NFL level. I mean, what's up? Uh, Definitely a whole lot of fun. And then ultimately, again, ended up at UConn, had one last year left because of the whole pandemic situation. So, uh, how exactly did you, do that? Like with the last year of the transfer, like walk through the whole transfer bit, if you don't mind.
I just felt like after my last season at Purdue, I just felt like I had a lot more much to show, and I just felt like I should go in the portal and just show it again at a different college, and I'm glad I did. So
And really finishing fairly strong. I mean, again, you guys are going to go to a bowl, so I mean, you've gone out there and you've produced there at UConn, which is great. So, and again, just putting yourself in a position to finish out, very well. I have a feeling you guys gonna do okay in that game. What do you think? Can you talk me through a little bit of that? Because I feel like there's a lot of changing up at the top there at your opponent there in UNC. And so I don't know, man. Talk me through this upcoming game.
man, I feel like I'm just excited to go out there and show my abilities and play one last game with the UConn Huskies, man. I'm just glad I definitely came here. They embraced me with open arms as for just my last year of ball. So I'm just excited.
I mean, definitely giving you an opportunity to do a lot. And really over the course of your career, I mean, I think a lot of people view you as a slot receiver and also a guy who can contribute on special teams. So, talk about yourself a little bit as a prospect. Maybe what you feel you have going for you as a prospect. What maybe separates you from other guys at your position.
Yes, sir. First off, like you said, I love playing special teams. I love being able to contribute, you know what I'm saying? Not only on the offensive side of the ball, but some people say a punt return is risky, but I kind of like it though. It's pretty fun job for me. Um, and I feel like I always just help the team get in the best field position, regardless if it's on offense or special teams. Man, I feel like I'm a savvy guy. I feel like I have a good way of tracking the ball and sometimes making the difficult catch. So
Yeah, some of the stuff that I put in my notes, a guy with solid hands, great speed, very elusive, and solid toughness, man. Because I mean, when you have a guy who plays your position, you're playing in the slot, like you have to be brave as hell to go across the middle. Because I mean, you could put yourself in a position where one of these you know, big old dudes from Ohio State are just going to nail you and like maybe end your career. So I mean, you gotta embrace that, of course. And so, how would you respond to that before I move on? I want to give you at least the floor before we
you know,
continue.
like you said, yeah, you do have to go across the middle sometimes and even block backers in the box and stuff like that. But I just feel like you know what I'm saying, do whatever it takes to win and just help your teammates out.
And again, I know you spoke on it somewhat. The whole possibility that hey, if a team at the next level wants you, mean you could certainly contribute as a specialist,
Yes, sir.
as a returner. I do gotta ask you though, have you paid much attention to what the NFL is doing with this dynamic kickoff, man? Like, is it something that you like? I mean, what do you? I don't know, comments about it. I'm
And
just kind of curious.
I have seen it. I feel like it does change the special teams kickoff definitely, but I kind of see what they're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Prevent from like injuries and stuff on special teams, but it's definitely gonna have to be something I get used to. But I'm excited to see what it's all about too.
You're not the only guy who's got to get used to it. I think I'm still I don't know, it hasn't, rubbed off on me somewhat. I'm so used to like the old school way of thinking.
Mhm.
Um Also kind of feel like college football really needs to uh adjust if this is what we're going with like forward.
It should all be the same. You're saying?
Yeah, yeah. I
I see.
mean, and so we'll see what's going to happen in the coming seasons. I mean, something's going to happen. I just feel it's going to happen.
Yeah,
But it also kind of forces kickers to kick to the returner. And so, like we want to give guys like you an opportunity to get the ball and, of course,
yeah.
establish great field position like out the gate. So,
Mhm.
guys like you are, kind of tone setters at times. I mean, you like to have the speedy guy out there who can get to like, midfield or something, if at all possible, just putting your team in great field position to, get things going. Want to talk more about you as a receiver. So, as a receiver, um, what is maybe perhaps your favorite route that you like to hear? Like, what's the one assignment that you love getting? Like when you're in the huddle, or you
Mhm.
just happen to know the play that you guys are running. What's the one for you that you like doing?
I mean, I feel like option routes, post, or like the seam ball when teams are in zone. I feel like it's pretty nice to just find a little zone and get open. So
Yeah, I mean, a guy like you, I mean, you don't want to give him any space to work. So because you're gonna take it and
mm,
kill teams with it. So people are gonna have to get on top of you in order for you not to get anywhere. So uh, find the open spot in zone and bam, like
yes, sir.
completely take over. So and so want to talk a little bit more about you and your journey. Again, I had mentioned a lot of great teammates I know you've had along the way.
Mm.
So, talk about maybe some guys at Purdue and then there at UConn. Maybe some of the guys who have poured into you, or some guys who have just been very impressive, for you in your journey.
Man, of course, at Purdue, guys like Rondale Moore, David Bell. David Bell was actually in my class. George Karlaftis, he was in my class also too. Um, those are just a few guys from Purdue. And here at Connecticut, guys like Jelani, he's an older guy too as well. Chase Lunt, he's an older guy as well. Um, man, and who else? Like Skylar Bell, he's a new transfer here at Wisconsin from Wisconsin here now. But those guys are some pretty impressive players that I've seen throughout my career, my college career. So
And I mean, I mentioned it somewhat, but I mean, some really awesome receivers that you played with. How have they kind of rubbed off on you? Especially early in your career. I mean, talking about guys who, you came in with, like you guys, were tight for a long while. You guys are, maybe learning from one another.
yeah.
Talk about that. For you in your experience there, specifically at Purdue?
Like at Purdue, I came in as a freshman. Rondale Moore was there, so he played slot. I was just kind of just watching what he did a lot of times and asking him questions when I was a freshman, just trying to get little tips and things that he did because he was a great player at Purdue and help change the culture, change the program around for sure. And D Bell as well. He was in my class, so we were a little bit closer, and I could definitely ask him things and just see what he does at practice and things like that. Um,
Keep going, you're good.
and That's about it. You go ahead.
Well, I mean, I was just thinking about this because I mean, if people, maybe aren't as familiar with the name TJ Sheffield, I mean, we're looking at these um absolute studs at Purdue that you're more or less playing behind. And so it's not necessarily a negative when you have a guy like yourself who just, dude, you got to be in awe
Yeah.
watching guys like Rondell Moore, Dave Bell, like just fantastic athletes literally at your position. And so maybe perhaps not getting the reps yourself that you would like to have out there. But I mean, again, they're absolute animals out there, and of course, doing some fantastic things in the NFL right now. And so I don't know perhaps how you feel about that overall. I mean, I don't necessarily think it's a negative, but I mean, you haven't maybe perhaps had like the dream of a career, of course, being behind guys like that, and of course, dealing with your own set of I don't know, hiccups, of course, over your time. Uh, Talk about that a little bit, man. I mean, obviously, true character comes out when you're faced with adversity. So, talk about that for you.
Man, I don't look at it as a bad thing. I just look at it as like everything happens for a reason, man. I was put in those places just to it wasn't my time, so you know what I'm saying. I just needed to learn more and get to know the game, and I feel like I did, and I feel like I just I just had to like take advantage of all my opportunities that I got over throughout my career.
Yeah, and hey, man, I'm not trying to say that you haven't got yours because you
Yeah.
certainly have along the way. Again, as I had mentioned, played with an NFL quarterback, played with Aiden O'Connell.
Mhm.
Talk about maybe some of the better moments that you've had in your career of being that guy, getting those opportunities, and doing some fantastic things. So, biggest highlights of your career, if you can walk me through a couple.
Man, I would say some exciting moments at Purdue. One of them was the Big Ten championship. We didn't we just making it there, just being able to, you know what I'm saying, put on a performance out there with another Big Ten opponent that was pretty good. Uh, as well, I feel like my when I was a sophomore, uh, Illinois game was a pretty fun game. I feel like the Music City Bowl was a crazy game for me as well, just because I'm a Tennessee guy, and I remember being my like all my family being there and friends. That was one of my most exciting games. I feel like, and it was one of the craziest games that I've ever seen too, like ever with my own eyes, to be honest. Um, but those are just a few.
What's your best moment as a return specialist? I know you've had a couple. Can you talk to
Return
me about one of them?
return specialist. I feel like, man, probably a few this year, a few punt returns this year. I feel like were some good punt returns. When I was a kick returner back when I was a sophomore, and I believe COVID season, I was a
Hmm.
kickoff returner. I believe I had some pretty good numbers on one of those seasons. Man, that's
Well, I mean,
about it.
you've definitely had some moments where you have been able to go out there, take the return, and get the
Uh,
ball down there and put you guys in good position. I
and
just wanted to see
yeah,
if
oh
there was.
yeah.
I just did want to see if maybe there was one of them that stood out like amongst the others. I didn't know.
Mm, maybe I remember when I was I think it might have been COVID season or sophomore year or something. It was a pretty close game with Rutgers. I think I was number 24 at the time too. I was a super young guy, yeah, super young cat, just excited. I think I broke like a 40 yarder or something like that, and got tackled on our sideline. It was just turning
Hey,
up with my teammates.
it's a it's an exciting thing to happen, especially for a guy who's very young.
Mhm.
You go out there, you make a play like that, and I know like all the guys around you are probably just as excited for you too. I mean, you get a chance to kind of go nuts on the sideline
Yeah.
with your buddies there. So
Yes, sir.
um, cool. So obviously had to mention a lot of your highlights again. One last game left to go.
Mm.
So highlights still yet to come. Let's not let's not stop it there, of course.
Yes, sir.
So one more game to put on the show. TJ, want to take a moment to meet the guy off the field too. Again, as we had mentioned, a guy from Tennessee. But talk to me about anything else about you that you feel other people might want to know, whether it be your hobbies, your interests, if you got any special talents or any fun facts about yourself. Give me a little something.
Man, I feel like one thing is like I said, my dad made a track club. I also coached track a little bit when I was like in high school.
All right.
I coached some of the kids that were out there that were in middle school and elementary school as well. And I, and I feel like coaching might be something I might be interested in, like my maybe at my like school or something like that, or anywhere. Like I feel like that would be something that would interest me. And that's
I was sitting here thinking, I don't know if maybe you can go back to those days, but do you know maybe of like one particular thing that you used to tell people like as a track coach, like one little, I don't know, I guess trick or tidbit or something like that people always get wrong?
I mean, I feel like I used to help with long jump and just make sure everybody get their steps, like, and just I would just always tell them like however however you get your steps from the board is how you run to the board when you're going into the pit type thing. So
Cool. I remember doing it myself. I know I'm dating myself. It was decades ago. But like I remember having to literally run the lines on the track. Like you literally get on a line and make sure you run straight. And
straight,
I kid you not, like you get to the moment where it's your combine or your pro day and people are weaving, like trying to run straight. Like they don't even know how to run straight. And so like that was like the one thing that like they had us do like fairly regularly, running track. So
make sure you run.
I don't know if you remember doing it. So,
Yeah,
um, but
way
hey,
is a straight
what's
line.
what? Yeah, got to run in a straight line, man. So, um, anyway, a couple other fun questions, maybe. Again, growing up in the Tennessee area, just kind of curious. Um, who are you a big fan of growing up, man? Who are you maybe looking at like and idolizing maybe as a young kid?
Man, the Titans, the Tennessee Titans. I was idolizing Chris Johnson, and I played running back like when I was younger. So I was always like trying to do his little celebrations and stuff like that. Man, he's one of the best backs ever. I feel like that's what I always tell people.
Well, and you're looking at a guy who, for the longest time, had the record at the combine.
Yeah,
It's certainly fun to be able to, look at a guy like that. Obviously, ain't his anymore, and I swear, each and every year, people are trying to get after it.
yeah.
So, a couple other fun questions. Again, completely non-football related.
Mhm.
So, obviously, thinking about a guy from Tennessee. When I think of Tennessee, I think of Tennessee barbecue. And so
Cool.
I don't know if maybe there's I don't know, particular favorite hot spot there from your hometown that you want to give a shout out to. But what is it there for you that you love?
It's I feel like it's really my parents. My dad barbecues better than anybody else's, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie.
That's good. That's fine. Um, definitely a big shout out to Dad on a couple of
Mhm.
different things. Again, being your coach, being the head chef, of
Yes,
course.
sir.
Um, Anything else? Let me see if I can throw a couple more your way before we move on. So,
Mhm.
you have any pets?
No, sir, I don't have any pets.
Like, have you ever had like any pet, or is
I had a dog when I was like super young. It was my oldest sister's and brother's dog, really. so I didn't even take care of it or anything. So
How many brothers and sisters you got?
I've got two brothers, two sisters. I'm the youngest, so
I don't
that's
know. So you feel as the youngest that you get I don't know, the most love? You think you're spoiled? I mean, I don't know. I'm just trying to feel
I
this
feel
out a little.
like I mean everybody in my family is probably the same. I feel like everybody got it, so
All
I don't
right,
think
it's
it's
all good.
fair to anything.
It's just kind of the I don't know the way
The
most people see
stereotype
like
thing,
the
yeah.
youngest. You know what I'm saying? A couple other fun ones. Uh, I don't know if you find the time to actually sit down, maybe watch like your favorite TV show or something. Like, what would that be for you?
I just kind of throw something on and fall asleep. I just watched the new Red One Netflix show. It's like Christmas with The Rock or something in it. So it was pretty good.
I have yet to
Action
watch that,
movie.
so I mean to watch it because you know, obviously Dwayne the Rock Johnson, big fan of his.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
is there any other person that you really like to follow or big fan of? Who's like your maybe favorite actor right now?
I'm not even sure. I'm I don't even I don't even feel like I know that many actors. Like
No, that it's all
I feel
good,
like
man.
I watch more ball than like
So,
actors.
so who would you, I don't know, really love to get an opportunity to meet, like, whether it be an actor, musician, athlete, who would that be for you? Or I'll give you a couple. Like, who are like, you know, some of these people who you'd love to get an opportunity to just maybe sit down,
Yeah.
have a meal with, hang out, you know, like that sort of thing.
You said athlete. I feel like if it was an athlete, it would maybe be like Tyler Lockett because I watch a little bit of film on him because he's not the biggest guy, but you know he's always making plays out there and getting open. So I try to watch what he does and things like that. So
Nice. Well, for a guy who obviously wants to get there and wants to get to the next level, certainly want to showcase things one last time. Again, you got a bowl game coming up. And as we close up shop, TJ, tell people what they'd be getting in you if they took a chance on you, you know, for a guy, you know, trying to get to the NFL, what kind of player you are and what you'd be able to, you know, add to a team. So, close us with your pitch.
yes, sir. If you talk to me, I feel like you're gonna get a hardworking guy that's gonna give his all and gonna be willing to play special teams or offense to contribute to the team. Um, it doesn't matter if it's you know what I'm saying like 53 or regular squad. I'm ready to contribute in any way I can, and I love ball, and I believe in God, and I believe he's got a path for everybody, and I feel like he's gonna help me regardless of what happens.
Gotcha. Well, certainly an explosive athlete that we really need to keep track of during this draft season. Again, great speed, solid toughness. So definitely check out this dude. His name is TJ Sheffield out of UConn. So you take care of yourself. All right.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Appreciate you.